activity, Ojoro, or Zamba, Wayo. During my search, I found out that Wayo is an Hausa word. Ibutumadu, these words are some of the tricks these scammers use. Yeah. Why scam matters? Billions are lost almost on daily basis, just like what we learned in the Unit 5 video. You know, the recent jam that student just took recently used me. A lot of scammers just try to exploit people. Then increasing sophistication, modern scams are advanced in technology, social engineering, and making it harder to detect and easier for one to easily fall. Then who are those that are being targeted? It's all. Nobody is exempted at all. Nobody is exempted. Then in terms of economic effect, it's scams undermine consumers' confidence, strains financial institutions of ours, and contribute to broader economic instability. What are the types of scams that we have? Like I said, some of our past presenters, one way or the other, I've mentioned one or two. Phishing, where scammers trick people into giving away their personal information through fake emails or address. While online shopping, where fake sellers take money without delivering the goods. Romance involves building relationship, and at the end of the day, you're dumping the other person. How this scam works, I listed 4 bullets here. Impersonalization of trusted sources, creation of urgency or fear, emotional manipulation, and promises of easy money or prizes. Then analyzing this potential scam. Did I initiate it? That's the most important thing you should first of all look at. You don't need to be panic or to rush into it. If you didn't, if you are not the author, if you are not the main person that initiated it, then you should exhibit 1 or 2 caution. Am I being too rushed? When you get a text message or you get an email alert, you have to look at yourself. Why do you need to put unnecessary pressure on yourself? Are they asking for personal information or financial information? These are sensitive information that you don't give anyhow to anybody. Can I verify independently? It is very easy, and it's important for one and law to ensure that you check this before moving any step. Yeah, a practical experiences I want us to share. I would like quickly to share my screen, share my Google browser now, for us to see a practical example here. Yes. I hope my screen is being shared. This is a company that just sent a message to one of our person, Dominic Company. All you need to do is just, that's your Google search engine box. Type the company, type plus, type the plus there, type the plus, and quote, double quote, scams. The result you get is what you are seeing on the screen. The term Dominic Company plus scam likely refers to instances where a company's name Dominic or a company associated with someone's name Dominic is involved in fraudulent act. So checking whatever messages or email that you get independently is key in going forward. Let me return back to my screen. Then
yes, you can go and
going back to the slide. Yeah. Ooh. So where I stop, the practical experiences. Yes. Yeah, right. Well, I think it's next one. Yes. So the second one has to do with the email. You get a message like this telling you, congratulations. After reviewing your resume, we are pleased to offer you a remote position in our company. You are earning this. Most of the applicants or most of people who get this, we quickly want to rush and click or whatever. Then the last one has to just be in form of football. There are fake agents here and there here. Although we are an institution, fake scammers all over the place. The most important thing is to just take a clue from the next steps of how to avoid these scams. Be skeptical of unknown contact, like we said before. Don't share personal information of whatever with anybody. Then also use, here on the slide, we have two-factor. We're thanking the Facilitator General that we are all being upgraded to multi-factor. We need to set it very clear. Series of layers of security for ourselves and a strong password to avoid some of this scam. Keep your software updated. Educate people. Don't keep that information to yourself. Educate people around. Tell people, send messages, give a call that so has happened, and to your family members. The red flags are here for us. Spelling errors. Take a clue. Like the bank issue that I've just cited now, ecobank.ng. Most of these banks will never use .ng. It's going to be .com. So you have to fasten your eyebrow not only to the URL, but also to the address bar. Immediately you click the right link, and even if it is a fake one, put your eyelid to the address bar. It will tell you if it is correct one or not. Then unfamiliar link or sender link. Yes, we learned that from Dr. Alejo. Just copy and paste and follow suit. Then request for gifts, crypto, pressure to hack, like I've said in a few slides behind. Don't put unnecessary pressure on you. It's unnecessary. Just keep calm and check whether it is true or false, or give, if it's an unfamiliar link or it, then asking for payment via gift card and the rest. And since you did not initiate it, why do you have to start paying up front? It's not unnecessary. Then going forward again, tools. This will be sent or shared with everybody. You can try this out, and it's going to be of help to everyone in seeing more red flags. Then if you are targeted, the most important thing is stop communicating. Whether via the email, whether phone calls, stop. Then report it to the authorities. Then change your password immediately if possible. Monitor your account, then warn others or pass the message to others. In summary, think before you click or reply. Stay informed. Stay safe. Share knowledge. Share your knowledge. It helps protect others and yourself. Final tips: stay alert and stay safe. Thank you very much once again to our distinguished Professor Emeritus and the VICBHE family for this opportunity. I appreciate you all and our dear participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Baleji, for that wonderful lecture. You stayed within time, and we are going to the second topic. Please, participants, just know that after the presentations, you have opportunity to make comments or ask questions. For topic number 2, we have Dr. Benjamin Honora, also from SITSC LASU, who will be speaking on AI and cybersecurity. He has 15 minutes to make his presentation. Dr. Honora, or Professor Honora, over to you. Take the floor, please.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank the distinguished Professor Peter Bukola for giving us this opportunity to share our knowledge on this very, very important topic. And the VICBHE team, I have to thank you very much for this uncommon opportunity. My name is Benjamin Honora, and I will be talking about artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. First, for my background, for about 20 years ago, I went into the IT, and I started as a web designer and a programmer. And over the time, I noticed is that some of my websites got hacked. And some of them, they face SQL injection and so on and so forth. Then some of these programming languages are still very new. They don't have good security facility. So this is actually what makes me to look at cybersecurity. How do I protect this? So this is to tell you that cybersecurity is for everybody, either technical or non-technical. So either as an hardware, as an educator, network engineer, over time, you must later have to secure whatever you build using cybersecurity. However, with the rise of AI, this trajectory started to change, because the normal way we detect threats using signature-based and couldn't just work, because AI completely changed the trajectory altogether. So what do we mean by artificial intelligence? AI has been a buzzword recently. Just the ability to build a machine, or a machine that can think like human being, so as to perform a specific task without being explicitly programmed. This means that typically in programming language, you will say when this is equal to this, do this or that. But in machine learning, this doesn't work that way. When it's being trained with all this data, it is able to learn and now make decisions on its own. Over time, even the person that built it cannot actually predict what this thing can, the decision it can make. So these have been some of the challenges that are the ethical part. Oh, won't this artificial intelligence take over the world? No, it's not actually like that. So let's look at it with cybersecurity, looking at how do we protect digital systems from unauthorized access? But things are beginning to change. As things evolve, we can now see a new evolving threat that AI is being introduced into the field. Some of the major threats that has happened in human history, first is from the growth of the rise of internet in the 1990s. More people adapted or connected to the internet for all kinds of businesses, even government. So the same way, attackers also flow in that direction. Now we are seeing the second waves with the increase of AI. As AI advances, ChatGPT, it has gone beyond the experiment. It's now being used in almost every field. The same thing with the criminal, they are also evolving. They are getting sophisticated, using the same AI that was built to help us. So at the same time, the defenders, we are looking at, we being cybersecurity enthusiasts or engineer or educator, we also must evolve by using the same tools to defend ourselves. Because the landscape is changing, and we must also evolve. And that is what AI is introducing in recent time. Now, if we look at the chart we have, looking at cyber threat and cyber security. If you look at the chart we have here, initially it started as viruses, worm, then we can secure this using antivirus. But if you look at the end of the chart, we are now seeing Internet of Things attack, social engineering, AI in crime. And look at the way the cybersecurity method that is also introduced, supposed to be also AI inclined cybersecurity means. So the traditional means of security uses static rule and signature based to identify threats, like a traditional firewall and antivirus, may not work in the modern time as things are changing. Because the criminals also they are using this AI model to deceive this same antivirus, because the model can know how what the antivirus is supposed to look out for. So it's trying to bypass this. So AI will definitely enhance cybersecurity through the automation and advanced threat analysis, which will lead to a faster and more accurate detection of threat, because machine learning model adapts as threat evolves. It adapts. And one of the key indexes or components of this AI in cybersecurity is that you can detect behaviors of these attackers. For instance, you can notice how that person that is trying to impersonate you, how is he hitting his keyboard? Is it not faster than your pace? The login time, you often log in around in the morning, but this person is always trying to log in at a different time, different from the zone where you are. All these things, the AI can actually look at that behavior to secure your system. Also, the system learns from the incident that has happened before. So it's not just looking at a signature or key. No, it's learning from what has happened to secure you. And that is what Gmail uses. Google has used this to block 99% of phishing mail, because automatically they know that is one thing that the attackers are going to be able to use AI model tools to generate a phishing mail that will bypass the traditional way of dictating it. So Google have to do this. A practical example of this is if you open ChatGPT and you just put your name, ask it to generate 1,000 passwords. Likely, you will notice it will likely generate similar password you may use. Attackers can use this, generate millions of passwords and loop it through to see which one matches what you have done. Some of the things we've looked at about phishing mail, the urgency of words, errors, and so on. They are going to use LLM to draft. They will study who is the person that's supposed to send this email. That's CEO of First Bank. So Google that person, get the detail. Then they will use the same model to get how that person will definitely communicate. Then they will send this email, and that can bypass additional means of security, detecting phishing mail. And as of last year and last 2 years, I have to work with some university students from UK, master's students in cybersecurity. What I noticed that all the topic, I have to build their model for them, their cybersecurity model. All the topic that university gave them or assigned to them has AI in cybersecurity. I listed like 4 of them here. And I think I would like to let us see how some of these things played out. This is a practical example class. This is a video that shows what I did. So just a brief of what happened. So normally behind the scene, we have to write a lot of programming, which it may not be the core part of this, but some of the things I want us to understand from the class is that when we build a model, there are several machine learning models that we subject our data sets to. Then we pick the best one. First, we clean up the data. Then we use the same data set. I run it through this almost 5 or 6 of this machine learning model as being shown. And we can see the performance in percentage. This is the 4th one, the 5th one, and the 6th one, which is the neural network. And this performed better. So I now use this to build this email phishing detecting machine learning program. So what I done did, these are some of the data set that was used. I just copied some of them just to test how this works. So when I copied this, I pasted it here, then I click to predict. Can it predict this message as a phishing mail or not? Because I've trained the model using thousands of data sets. So it has learned. So it can easily go through and look at what has happened before. Oh, it's able to predict this. Even though you modify the data, you make some adjustments and still run it through, it will likely see from what it has learned to predict. Then I pick up some data too that are phishing mail. These are a typical example of that. So when I run this through, so it's able to detect, oh, this is a phishing mail. Because of the word, it has learned from the words. Even though you make some modification from it, it will still look through from experience. This is me trying to make some modification to the text, to the email. So even though I ran it through, it's still able to say, no, this is still a phishing email. So this is exactly what happened behind the scene of all this complex system we have. Here, this just to show that we look through a lot of data sets, thousands of them, before we conclude on this is the best model. So, after this, we've seen how the AI could help us in cybersecurity, but there are some limitations. Everything have some downside of it. For instance, the AI model works as a black box. Sometimes it may not tell us how it reached that conclusion, although some new models are able to do this. And we must have seen this in a typical antivirus. This program, this document seems as a legitimate, but this antivirus keeps flagging it without giving us adequate reasons. So that could happen. Second one is bias and discrimination. AI model, because it is trained with a lot of data sets, sometimes the data sets we're not contributing as Africa may see us, oh, Africa, when you even run your AI, some of your query, anything Africa, it always comes out as a negative. No. So we have to look at that. So this bias could come up once in a while. Then the human, we can't replace human knowledge at this point, because most people, they are not very, very tech savvy. Social engineering will continue to be a threat. And this is why VICBHE, I have to thank you for creating this awareness. Most people may not be technical people, but that knowledge will go a long way. Then we also have privacy. AI, sometimes people have been complaining about the privacy of how it violates privacy. So that is also an issue that will come up from. And most importantly, as we are looking at this direction, we should know in Nigeria, most of our critical software are not being built by Nigeria, the one that are powering some of our critical softwares. So this is where we as educators should be thinking about encouraging or telling government that our critical software should be built here so that we can be in 100% control, because that is where the major threat happens for over time. Then the implication of this study as we conclude, everybody cannot be a machine learning engineer, but because a typical Windows update, Gmail now have AI feature that can detect or prevent cyber threats. However, as educator, we cannot separate cybersecurity in Nigeria from AI. When we are teaching cybersecurity, just like the UK university, they are thinking that direction. We must ensure that AI module is also embedded in our cybersecurity programs or curriculum. Either as a technical or non-technical, people cannot scare away from cybersecurity because that is what the criminal are going to be. They are going to be using it more and more. We need to start adjusting because we cannot go into a battle that is being fought with guns and nuclear weapons with our arrow. It won't work. And in conclusion, I would like to quote this Professor Muganga. He said, in today's rapidly changing world, the traditional education model is crumbling. If we fail to integrate AI into our learning system, we risk graduating students unprepared for modern reality because in reality, most of what will happen in future, we have AI embedded. And that is why I thank VICBE in the previous section, in the previous VICBE module, they have an AI classes, and this periodic training will help us as educators, as engineers, as researchers to continue to be up to date with what is happening in the present world and in the future world to come. Thank you very much to the management team. Thank you to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Benjamin Onoha. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful presentation. And I mean, the presentations today have been awesome. And they both stayed within time. So it's time for us to ask questions, make contributions. And so please, if you want to be part of this, kindly raise your electronic hands. And what we'll be doing, we'll be taking us in cohorts of 5 for the questions and or comments, as the case may be. To start, will be Wofai Ewa. Moses Akombi will be following. Professor Grace Otinwa will be following. Professor Nkiruka Ude, and then Professor Doris Mora. Those are the first 5. Professor Wofa Ewa, please take the floor. Kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you, sir.
And then can move on to
Wofa Ewa from the University of Cross River State. Sorry, pardon me, I'm actually in the farm. That's why I'm not very well dressed. I just want to commend the speakers, particularly even the second one, who has touched very, very sensitive areas that I am particularly involved in. Thanks to the Facilitator General, I think in the last module, I had an award, and what we're trying to build is a cybersecurity system, and he's touched on several things that need to be done, and particularly because I don't have time. First of all, I just want to commend him and then say that at the level where we are in 21st century, we need AI and cybersecurity, and we can't do without it. So I'd like to commend everyone and just say keep doing a good job. Thank you.
Thank you for the commendation. We appreciate you. Professor Moses Akombi, over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Moses Akombi from Lagos State University. I want to thank the Facilitator General and the speakers. Particularly, I'm speaking in respect of presentation of Dr. Gbeleyi on analyzing a potential scam. I just want to reinforce some of the things that the Facilitator General has given us and some other lecturers who have given lectures on this platform earlier. In analyzing a potential scam, did mention that, did I initiate this? If you didn't initiate the contact, be cautious. Our colleague had an experience that she was trying to do a transaction and the transaction was not working. She visited the bank, blah, 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 and then she received a call from the bank where they asked for the OTP, for her pass, for her PIN, and the rest. And before you know it, the money from the office kept in her custody was gone. So sometimes some of the people working inside the bank collude with these hackers and the rest, and they know that somebody has just experienced a delay or challenge that he has reported to the bank, and they just take advantage of that. I just wanted to bring that to the fore, as an additional step in terms of checking not to be scammed. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Grace Otinwa.
Thank you very much. I want to start by appreciating the 2 speakers. And
can you introduce yourself? Let us know your institution, ma'am. Don't let me repeat this,
Professor
please.
Grace Otinwa.
No, I'm just saying generally now. Yes. If you come, you say, Professor, you have to tell us your institution. If you don't do that, I may be constrained. Now I'm telling you ahead. I may be constrained to mute you. We'll go on to the next person.
Thank you very much, sir. Apologies. I'm Professor Grace Otinwa from University of Lagos. I want to start by commending the two speakers, and I would narrow down my comments to the second speaker. That is Dr. Benjamin Onora. Thank you for highlighting the need for us to be AI compliant and the need for us to stay involved and try to also be updated with things that are evolving. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Professor Nkirika Ude, over to you. Your name.
Thank you. My name is Nkirika Ude from Michael Alabara University of Agriculture, Umudike. The question goes to Dr. Beleyi. When you were talking, you said that scams can be when you buy something online and it's not what you intended to buy that they gave you. But I remember last week, Dr. Abdul Razak said that scam is not buying something that turns out to be poor quality. So how do you reconcile that? If he says scam doesn't have to do anything with buying something, then today we're hearing that it has to do with buying something online. How do you reconcile this information so we know exactly what a scam is? Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. Everybody has noted your question. Professor Doris Mora, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Doris Mora. I'm from Madonna University, Nigeria. My question goes to the second speaker, Dr. Benjamin Onora. When he was talking about cybersecurity and artificial intelligence, he mentioned that AI can violate our privacy. I'm asking, how does AI do this, and how can we mitigate this problem? Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Prof. We'll take the next 5 again, and I will have Professor Salisu to be followed by Professor Abdurazak, Professor Dodo Juliet Dinsen, Professor Osoro Undifreke, and then Professor Helen Adebola, in that order. Professor Salisu, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm Dr. Mrs. Salisu Titilola from Olabisi Onabanjo University in Gateway City, where we just concluded National Sport Festival. My question goes to the second speaker. I've been overwhelmed by the information from facilitator and other speakers. So my question would be, how do we manage the information overload? It becomes scared, so many things to deal with. I changed password, I began to apply all these. That is for the second speaker. For this first speaker, I would like him to tell us exactly the order of priority for the red flags. Which one comes first from the slide he was trying to show? Thank you, sir.
All right, your questions have been noted. Professor Abdurazak, take the floor, please.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Abdurazak from Aman Patigi University, Kwara State. My question goes to the second speaker. Just like the last speaker I just mentioned, the order of priorities of these red flags are quite enormous. And if you look at it from the inception of the class that we started this module 10, these red flags have been so sacrosanct, like virtually all of them are coming almost all the same time. Now, which one should we give priorities to when we begin to suspect a particular mail or a particular message as a scam? Thank you so much.
Yes, Professor Juliet.
Thank you so much, facilitators. We are really grateful for this opportunity you've given to us. I'm Dr. Juliet Dodo from the University of Jos. Sorry, then my question goes to Dr. Benjamin Onora. Actually, my problem is with this AI of a thing. The AI has come to stay, and we have really built it into our studies with our students. Now, the question is, where do we put a barrier? Where a student will just go to AI, download everything, and give you, sometimes the references are wrong. How do we correct them? How do we really moderate and be able to guide them right? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Ndefreke. You have the floor. Please, you have to activate your video. If not, we'll jump over you now to Professor Helen Adebola.
Good afternoon.
Hold on, ma. Sorry. We'll just take the next 5. Professor Helen Adebola, Professor Amarachi Azubike, Professor Kuranga Abdullahi, and then Professor Jonathan Setimi. That order. Now take the floor, Professor Adebola.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Professor Helen Adebola from Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka. My question goes to the second speaker. And the question is, what risk or vulnerabilities can arise from relying on AI in cybersecurity? Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. Professor Amarachi Azubike, take the floor, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I really want to appreciate the speakers for their wonderful job. I'm throwing my question to the first speaker, Dr. Olasukomi Beleyi. And when he was speaking, he made mention of how to check the originality of any company. He used EcoBank as an example. I just need him to throw more light on that particular, how to put the name of the company plus what and what. I didn't really get that particular place. That's what I want. Thank you.
All right, ma. Thank you very much. Professor Hassan Kuranga, you have the floor. Please unmute yourself. Okay, we'll jump over to Professor Jonathan. All right, please take the floor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. You have the floor.
My name is Abdullahi Azan Kuranga from Federal University of Ekiti. I'm not a professor, I'm just engineer. I want to ask the question from a second speaker, which is Dr. Benjamin. Please, what's the meaning of LLM? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Professor Jonathan Setimi, you have the floor, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Professor Jonathan Setimi from Delta State University, Abraka. Mine is a contribution on the use of AI for cybersecurity. While it can be used to analyze patterns to get anomalies, it can also be used for phishing emails. So I'm advocating the effective use of AI by considering these benefits and risks to minimize our defense vulnerabilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution. We'll take the next 5 again, and we'll have, in this order, Inekong Udo, Archie Anthony, Evelyn Godwin Wakasi, Priscilla Utu, and Kedele Obiokafo. So, Professor Inekong Udo, you have the floor, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Inekong Udo from University of Nigeria. Good afternoon, everyone.
All right.
Sorry,
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Inekong Philip Udo from University of Nigeria, Nsukka. First and foremost, I want to thank the 2 speakers. They did wonderfully well. But my question goes to the second speaker, Dr. Benjamin Onora. He made mention that AI can identify anomalies using keyboard analysis, behavioral analysis, example, keystroke, time, login, and location. That is number 1. I didn't quite understand how that can be. Another one is, he said too that LLM can draft email messages that would bypass phishing emails. Please, I want him to throw more light on these 2 things because they are quite very interesting. Thank you so much, sir.
Well noted, ma. Professor Archie Anthony, you have the floor. Where are you?
I'm Archie Anthony.
Please, okay.
Technical Asaba. Now, my question is concerning automation of AI and cyber security. You discover that every 1 hour there are AI tools that you can find on the internet, and that poses a lot of challenges because when you develop one aspect of AI to checkmate cyber insecurity, at the very moment another one comes. So how can we keep updating ourselves on the issue of automating or integrating AI to cyber security? Very, very, very key.
Thank you very much, Prof. Next is Professor Evelyn Godwin Wakasi. Please take the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Evelyn Godwin Wakasi from Gregory University, Uturu. My question is, the second speaker told us that AI is used to generate more than 1,000 passwords by people of the dark web. How then do we get ourselves protected since AI is generating daily? How do we get more sophisticated since he said that firewalls and antiviruses are no longer enough? Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. Professor Priscilla Utu, have the floor, Ma.
Okay. Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Professor Priscilla Utu from Moses Adasu, Osho Adasu University, formerly Benue State University. I want to commend all the speakers, but my concern is regarding artificial intelligence. The last speaker talked about using data that is foreign. How do we intentionally begin to build our own data so that models can now be developed using our own data instead of foreign data, so that we can be able to be effective in even the result that we are getting that are being biased? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. Noted. And then Professor Ifeanyiwa Obiokafo, you have the floor, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate the two speakers. I'm Ifeanyiwa Obiokafo from Admiralty University. I have two things I want to say. Last week, during the last week live lecture, our facilitator general promised that he would devote the break time this week in talking about email filtering from one of the questions of the participants. Facilitator General, sir, please, we are appealing for that. Thank you very much. Then the second one, I want to appreciate the two speakers for the justice they did, both on the scam and the analysis of scam and everything. Actually, I want to discuss the use of AI in automation. You can use AI in a positive way. You can also use it in the negative way, like automation of protection of our intrusion detection system. Then we can also use it to automate scams and harm our society. So like today's video that I mentioned, we have to use it ethically and protect the society. So that's what our facilitator is engaging more of us to work ethically. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Humble submission.
I can trust the general has noted your question. He will I think at this time we have about 8 more hands left. We'll just take the 8 in that sequence. We'll start with Professor Vivian Anakweze, to be followed by Professor Akim Omolaja Akinfenwa, and then Professor Walter Mboto, Professor Letitia Onyeabu, Professor Dora Abonika, Professor Additional.
No, we can't take Dora Abonika because we don't have a video. We have a standing rule on that.
Okay, please kindly activate your video for us to take you. And then Professor Additional Babatunde Taiwo, and last but not the least, Professor Abubakar Kasum for now. Yeah, Professor Vivian, please take the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Vivian Anakwenze from Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka. I want to thank our Facilitator General and his team and the two speakers that spoke to us today. My question goes to the second speaker. How does AI aid both the scammer and the person that is being scammed? How does AI, the negative and the positive effect of AI? Thank you.
Yes, Professor Walter Mboto, over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Professor Walter Mboto. I'm from the University of Calabar. Wonderful. I have a concern with the second presenter. In the course of his presentation, he did mention that AI, as a software, when it is designed, sometimes becomes difficult for the person who designed the software to predict its function. And I am worried by that, and I want to ask whether such a non-predictability does not portend danger in the use of AI as a cybersecurity tool in supporting cybersecurity.
Thank you, sir. We move on to Professor Letitia Oyejegbu, excuse me. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Professor Letitia Oyejegbu from the University of Port Harcourt. I want to thank our Facilitator General and the VICBHE team for the wonderful work you're doing. I also want to thank the two presenters for the insightful presentation. My question goes to the second presenter, that's Dr. Benjamin Onwara. I want to find out the features that he used in developing the phishing model. What are the features in the data sets that was used to develop the model that he's presented to us?
Thank you very much, ma'am. The data set will go on to Dora Agbonika. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. This is Dora Agbonika from University of Abuja. I want to commend the Facilitator General for his great work, especially the newsletter that I just read this morning was so wonderful, full packed of several information. I also want to say the two speakers spoke greatly concerning the analysis of scam and that of AI. But my question is, how can we curtail students using AI in bringing out content for thesis?
Yeah. Thank you so very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going on to let me meet Madam. I pictured her. We're going on to Professor Addition of Babatunde Taiwo. And then we're going to stop at Professor Yarife Stephen. That would be all. And then we'll get the responses from the two speakers. The addition of Babatunde Taiwo, the floor is all yours.
Sir. My name is Dr. Addition of Babatunde Taiwo from Landmark University. I would like to appreciate our Facilitator General. On the last debate 9, Module 9, AI and AMBU, Artificial Intelligence, some universities, they don't take it seriously, but in Landmark University, university management has already took it up. There is a policy on AI in Landmark University for student writing, research projects, and or even including staff. You want to go out to submit your publication. And it's a good thing that we have learned a lot from this module, even Module 9 and this Module 10. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much, sir. We're moving on to last but not the least, Professor Abubakar Kasum.
Sir. Thank you very much. My name is Professor Abubakar Kazum from University of Ilorin. My question is for the second paper presenter. Please.
Yeah, I've muted Professor Yarife Stephen. There's a lot of noise around him. So if that noise continues, then I may not be able to take you on. Yes, Professor Abubakar Kasum, carry on.
My question again to the second speaker. What AI tool can you recommend for us that can protect us with our email or and website searching? Thank you.
Wonderful. Yes, last, definitely not the least, Dr. Eyaref Stephen.
Thank you, sir, my able professor. I greet everyone. I'm Dr. Eyaref Stephen from the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. I've been participating right from Module 8, and I so much appreciate that what you are doing in VICBHE. My request is that we wrote a book the other time, and I wish that after this program, we should also replicate same by writing a book on that. Thank you, sir.
Cybersecurity. Thank you very much. Now we're going to yield to our speakers. But before that time, Professor Ifeyiwa Obiekafo asked me that I promised the last time that we're going to have about the tidbits. I really must apologize. What happened was I had very little time for the tidbits. So the next one, which will be practicals, I'm going to put it there. So I apologize, but I've given you a promise that that's going to happen. Let's take in the order of they are presenting. They have 5 minutes each. Dr. Gweleyi, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, distinguished Professor.
Okay.
Sir.
Yes, go ahead, yes.
Thank you very much. Looking at the order of the questions, the one from Professor Ude asking question about the online shopping. Like I said in the slide, the most important thing is that you should look at the URL properly. Yeah, look at the URL properly and check. And the sample, the particular sample that I displayed on the screen has to do with you copying it, taking it to Google, and just add plus, the sign plus, and quote scam, and hit the button straight. You definitely get a remark about whether that link or that website or URL is fake or not. Then the question from the priorities of the red flag. From my slide also, we don't have to look at the priority. The most important thing is that we have to stick to any other outcome as your instinct directs you. Looking at the spelling or grammar error or unfamiliar link, request for crypto or gifts, pressure. Do you want to take pressure before checking out the spelling error? You just look at control your instinct and don't be in a haste. Just be familiar with some of these red flags. Immediately you see one or two, you just have to back up. And I think that is all from my end based on the first presentation. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you so very much. We go down to Dr. Benjamin Onwara.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So one of the first question asked, AI violence of our privacy. First, everything we do online have what they call a digital footprint. So make sure that you are putting in the positive steps if you don't want it to be violated. Secondly, you cannot stop somebody from accessing your information, but make sure that what you are presenting is what represents you and not the other way. So let us keep whatever private we want to be private. Nothing outside of that will help us to protect our integrity a lot. Secondly, somebody asked about the behavioral pattern. How does the AI detect the behavioral pattern? Talking about the keystrokes, what we do is that as we are working, somebody told me something like that happened somewhere in US. The bank website just flagged the person and emailed the person. Somebody was trying to access this. So it's based on your interaction, whatever you are doing, generate data. So automatically this model can pick up this data and use it to train the model. So in case somebody want to, it will look at how do you eat. If it's too fast, then is that the way you eat it? The keypad. So all these things generate data. So it depends on what you are working on online. So that's for that. For the barrier with checking for students using AI for their thesis or assignments, very, very important. The school need to have a policy, set your policy that AI is not allowed for so assignment. Don't forget, it is also AI tool you use to check AI. So when you do this, similar to a student cheating, when you notice it happened in US, a lot of universities have been flagging this. So let us use AI to also check AI. But before then, set the rule so that the student will later complain that, no, you never stated this. Our risk with AI and cyber security, first one is bias in data sets. So that's one of the risks that may happen. And as I also mentioned in the presentation, there is a black box. You may not understand how it come about the decision it made. So that can also be another risk we should also look out for. Somebody asked for the meaning of LLM, large language model. Before then, there were what they call expert systems. It has a narrow understanding. For instance, expert system in medicine. If you ask it any question on medical diagnosis or whatever, it will help you. But now LLM has a larger data set. Like a ChatGPT, whatever question you ask it, it uses a larger data set. It's not limited to one particular field. So that is what LLM means to a lay person. A larger data set can handle every field of something called general knowledge in quotes. Somebody also asked about what about now that ChatGPT can generate password, and how do we secure ourselves? They've been saying that, remember what they call two-factor authentication. That could help us a lot. Most security systems now use tokens. They will send you token to validate. So these are different ways. For instance, Google, most application now uses Google sign-in. So that you use one sign-in, if there's any threat, Google will definitely message you. So that you don't just keep punching your password everywhere. So these are what we should take note of. One of the questions.
All right,
also,
round up quickly, round up 1 more minute, and that's it.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, sir. How can AI help? How can the AI be helping the thief and also be helping the victim? That is actually quite common in our field. Cybersecurity, we are not going to be in a box. The world is now larger. So if they are going in that direction, we cannot shut our eyes to that. We must also adjust. For the features for the model,
right.
is actually.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm muting you now. On behalf of all the participants in this course, we would like to thank our speakers, Dr. Olasun Komigbeleyi, cyber security expert, Dr. Benjamin Onwara. I'd like to have first name first. Benjamin, I think Benjamin is your first name, or is Benjamin your surname? I know it is, Benjamin, because these were my PhD supervisees. All those that have been coming, they supervised their PhDs, and they've done so very, very well. Professor Moses Akombi is the Dean of Science, internal examiner, of course, co-supervisor for some of them. So very happy that you're doing yourselves proud, doing LASU proud, and doing Nigeria very proud. Appreciate the hosts, our hosts, Professor Noe Biodu Salu, the black hat hackers hacked him out of the room. He sent me a message that they hacked him out of the room. I said, no worries. Professor Musa Convi is here, and Dr. Mrs. Salisu is also here. And of course, I can see Dr. Addition of Data, they're all here. So I've enjoyed this live lessons like you have seen. I've enjoyed it. We have 4 minutes to close, but nothing says that we shouldn't close a few minutes before, because in VICBHE, we will do our best to stick within the time that we are provided. And some newcomers will say, oh, can you extend the submission of the discussion forum to about 12 noon? You know what we'll do? We'll just keep quiet. And after that 12 noon, they will then send it to us as email attachment. We'll know people look the thing. So we are delighted that we are moving on quite well. And somebody asked whether we are going to have a handbook too. A handbook like we did for AI. Yes, that's the answer, that we're going to have the handbook, and it's going to shake the world. Now, I tell you something, our handbook on AI and quality AI education is shaking the whole world. There is no place in the whole world as I speak that has that kind of 3-volume handbook. Talking modestly, I chair a global outfit on quality assurance in higher education. And when I shared that, the whole place, it's being shared all over. It's quite, so we're going to do the same thing for cybersecurity. Professor Ono said, hey, nothing good is coming out so well for Africa in terms of the knowledge base in cybersecurity. So this one, we want to tell them, we want to shake the net, tell them, say, for Nigeria, Nigeria pass, no, the carry last. So thank you once again, and wish you a very, very nice rest of the day, rest of the week. If you noticed, we made Thursday free. And I got a message from one of our people that, look, Thursday, I don't know. I said, no, because you have six activities for this week in the practicals. And so I thought we could have that time to have one day free to be able to deal with it. I can see Professor Moses Akobi is nodding his head. He's happy now because it's usually two. But this one, 6. But wait till next week, we are going to go to the full stuff. It's going to be enjoyable. So thank you very much. It's exactly 1 minute.